We've all seen and heard the Karate Kid style story of an old veteran QB teaching the young gun the ropes as he gracefully hands over the reins to the franchise. They eventually win the All-Valley tournament. Alex Smith and Pat Mahomes, Kurt Warner and Eli Manning. Eli Manning and himself. But what about a guy who wasn't actually trying to do that at all? In fact, his bad luck has spawned multiple successful NFL careers. This is the story of Tyrod Taylor and his bizarre prelude to greatness. And it's coming up right after this. This video is brought to you by Manscaped.com. Summer's in its last days, and that means only one thing. It's male grooming season. Oh, and football. Sorry, it's always male grooming season. That's why Manscaped created the Perfect Package 3.0, which gives you the perfect tools for your family jewels. And even though there's all this fantastic gear that's in this kit, like the Lawnmower 3.0, there is also Crop Preserver Anti-Chafing Ball Deodorant. What's that you say? You didn't know this was a thing? You put deodorant on your armpits, don't you? Then why not on literally the smelliest place on your body? Crop Preserver features soothing aloe and quick absorbing gel that keeps you fresh all day long. Trust me, they aren't going to freshen you up down there without proven ingredients so that you can sit or run in comfort all day long. And it's great for on the go. So after this video, head on over to Manscaped from my custom link below. Order the Perfect Package 3.0, which has Crop Preserver included and also comes with Crop Reviver. Order now and I'll side you 20% off, free shipping and 2 free gifts. Again, hit my link below. Summer might be coming to an end, but you want your balls and others to thank you all year round. Manscaped.com. Tyrod Diallo Taylor was born in 1989 in Hampton, Virginia, where he would attend Hampton High School as a 3-sport athlete. Using his speed and athleticism, he dominated in high school, leading his team to a 34-4 record. And in 2007, after being heavily recruited, he stayed in state and attended Virginia Tech. In 2011, his senior year at the Orange Bowl, his opponent, Stanford quarterback Andrew Luck, had a near-flawless performance. 18 of 23, 287 yards and 4 touchdowns in the Cardinals' 40-12 runaway victory over Taylor's Hokies, ensuring he would be the #1 pick in next year's draft. Taylor, the owner of many Virginia Tech passing records, was rendered a side note despite throwing one of the more incredible touchdown passes of the decade. Luck was the first pick, while Taylor went 180th overall to the Ravens. Despite being picked so low, the Hokie quarterback stuck with the QB position, though he was advised that switching to wide receiver may have improved his draft stock. Taylor's agent, Asita Bakari, said, "If we make the decision that we're a quarterback, we could be sacrificing our draft position." It was quarterback or bust for Taylor, even if that meant waiting until the 6th round to hear his name called. And looking back, it shouldn't have taken that long. The prelude had arrived in the NFL. In his first gig, Taylor was Joe Flacco's understudy, the guy who held the clipboard in 2012 when Joe Flacco put together an immaculate playoff run to lead the Baltimore Ravens to a win in Super Bowl 48. Taylor, who played in 7 games that season, earned a Super Bowl ring, having watched from the sideline an unprecedented flash of greatness. Unfortunately for Tyrod, Flacco's anomaly left the Ravens with a sense of loyalty to him, and Taylor moved on to the Bills after the 2014 season. Little did he know, Baltimore would later opt for a QB who played a similar style game a few years later, wanting to bring back the athleticism to the QB position they had lost in Tyrod. This would not be the first time Taylor preceded a career. Well, that is what this video is about, isn't it? Tyrod got his chance to start in 2015, signing a deal with the Bills with no clear competition ahead or behind him. Left unchallenged, Taylor managed to put together a Pro Bowl season in his first year as a Bill. But after 2 years in which Taylor tossed 37 touchdowns and just 12 picks, Buffalo opted against complacency and in 2017 snagged a quarterback from Pitt by the name of the GOAT, Nathan Peterman. Unlike the next 3 quarterbacks that would succeed him, Taylor's first competitor wasn't much competition. Despite Tyrod winning 5 of his first 9 games that season, Bills head coach Sean McDermott inserted Peterman in favor of the 7-year vet. In his first half as a starter, Peterman threw 5 completed passes, right into Charger hands. Taylor came in to mop up, but still didn't earn the approval of his head coach. "I don't regret my decisions," Sean McDermott said after the game. "I regret the result." This is in part about winning now and in part about winning in the future. Taylor ended up winning the job back for the rest of the 2017 season, playing with a new sense of urgency and playing well enough to deliver Buffalo a playoff berth for the first time since 1999, with a little help from Andy Dalton, of course. And despite all that, Buffalo chose to replace him again. The Bills traded for the 7th overall pick and selected Wyoming quarterback Josh Allen, who in nearly all ways was the antithesis to Tyrod Taylor. Allen was 4 inches taller, stockier, had the flamethrower arm compared to Taylor's feather touch, and one other significant difference in phenotype. The Bills no longer wanted Taylor there to play the role of mentor. Instead, the role of teaching Allen how to throw picks went to Nathan Peterman, just a second-year player. Taylor, the better quarterback, was traded prior to the draft to Cleveland, clearing the way for Josh Allen as soon as he was ready. So despite doing everything he could, Taylor birthed 2 careers in Buffalo. He would be far from done. As it would turn out, Cleveland held the number 1 overall pick and was also in the market for a quarterback. They didn't take a 6'5" Adonis like Josh Allen, but instead took Baker Mayfield out of Oklahoma, a player closer to Taylor's stature. Head coach Hugh Jackson, who had amassed all of 1 win in 2 seasons with the Browns, announced early on that Tyrod Taylor was the team's starter. Taylor naturally agreed, knowing he had a number 1 overall waiting behind him. "I don't necessarily view myself as a bridge quarterback. I'm a quarterback," Taylor told Cleveland reporters. "As far as a bridge, hopefully I'm helping bridge this team to a Super Bowl." Bridge QB or not, Taylor faced the unenviable task from keeping Cleveland's ship from sinking to the bottom of Lake Erie. And with the specter of Baker looming over his shoulder, Taylor led the Browns to the verge of a victory in Week 1 against Pittsburgh, marching his team back from down 14 in the 4th quarter and forcing overtime. The Browns would have won, but a missed kick in overtime gave Taylor a tie in his first start in Cleveland. All things considered, it was a victory, even though the fridges remained locked. The frantic energy that led Cleveland back against their most hated rival carried over into the next week. Again, Cleveland was within reach of an improbable victory, this time playing a playoff-bound Saints team in the Superdome. Cleveland's kicker, Zane Gonzalez, missed 2 extra points and 2 field goals, including one that would have sent the game to overtime. Taylor played well, especially in the clutch, but for the 2nd straight week, his efforts were nullified by errant kicks. Welcome to the Browns. Taylor could have started 2-0 in Cleveland, potentially doubling the amount of wins their fans had seen since 2016. But instead, he was 0-1-1, a less glamorous record that didn't reflect his on-field heroics. By week 3, his career in Cleveland was effectively over, as Taylor was injured early against the Jets. Baker Mayfield, the 1st overall pick the fans were clamoring for the whole time, entered the game and led the Browns to a comeback victory, their first notch in the W column since December of 2016. Screwed over once again. Can this guy just catch a break? As you will see, the answer to that is hell no. Goodbye Cleveland, hello Los Angeles. Tyrod signed as a free agent in 2019 to join the Chargers. Unlike Buffalo and Cleveland, Taylor was not promised a starting job in his new home with the Chargers. In fact, the guy above him in the depth chart had played every game since 2006. It would be a waiting game. Surely enough, after a rocky season, the Chargers waved goodbye to their fertile QB Phillip Rivers after 16 seasons, and Taylor slid up and took his spot, the first person not named Rivers to start at quarterback for the Bolts since Drew Brees in 2005. But once again, his place atop the depth chart was threatened by the looming presence of youth.
Oh, come on!
This time, Oregon quarterback Justin Herbert, a 6'6" drink of water with a cannon arm comparable to, well, Josh Allen. But like in Cleveland, Taylor won the job out of Corona Camp. And although the Herbert era is an inevitable truth, Taylor got the win in week 1. He got a return on his Cleveland karma when Bengals kicker Randy Bullock sent a field goal wide right. But of course, the good fortune was not to last. Taylor suffered cracked ribs in the victory, and when it came time to host the Chiefs a week later, the Chargers team doctor did what they say not to do in med school and kind of accidentally punctured one of Tyrod's lungs while injecting a painkiller. Here's a photo of said team doctor. That's why Justin Herbert started week 2 despite not knowing he would play until the ball was literally being kicked off. It happens, Chargers coach Anthony Lynn said. Tyrod's not angry, not upset. Taylor is out indefinitely until he is cleared to play despite the desire that Lynn wants him in there. Herbert, who played well in his debut, might not let him back in. And poor Tyrod once again. He's done everything he's been asked to in his career, exceeding expectations, and still, he's only been seen as a bridge to the future. Josh Allen, Baker Mayfield, Justin Herbert, Nathan Peterman, everywhere Tyrod Taylor has gone, he was the present, but only until the future was ready. The bridge to a franchise quarterback, the palate cleanser before tasting greatness. In a vacuum, he has had an impressive career, reliable, workmanlike, professional. All the athleticism and smarts you could ask for from a quarterback. So let this be a lesson to all the teams out there. If you're looking for a long-term solution at quarterback, the first step is Tyrod.
Ravens trying to end it here. 4th down. Dalton steps up. Dalton throws. It's complete.
Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please do not forget to check out the sponsor, Manscaped, from the link below, and like, comment, or subscribe. I'm 5 Points Vids, and you made it to my next video.